make it one of the best sectors in the country, in the whole world. Because when we talk about aviation, we talk about tourism. When we talk about aviation, we talk about economic activity. When we talk about aviation, we talk about real estate growth. We talk about job creation. When we talk about aviation, we talk about industry. When we talk about aviation, we talk about commerce, we talk about trade. And we talk about aviation, we talk about culture. And when we talk about aviation, we talk about agriculture also. And that is why aviation is a very important nodal sector that needs to be given that push. And with this idea, I'll get some water, sir.
Please.
And it is with this idea that the whole aviation sector has been thoroughly, deeply understood on what the true potential India can have. And we have seen that there are multiple gaps also. Now 90,000 crores capex has been put into the infrastructure to create the infrastructure in airport infrastructure. But creating infrastructure, that itself is one challenge. And when I took the charge as a minister for this aviation, sir, I have promised the people of this country that, ma'am, thank you. Thank you. She has always been so caring, sir. Like a mother, always. Thank you, ma'am. So, when we look deep, it is not about just creating the infrastructure, but it is about connecting them also. Now, you can spend a lot of money, you can create the infrastructure, you can create more airports, but the ultimate challenge, thank you. The ultimate challenge is how do you connect? And that is where, bringing in all the aspects of the government, we created the Udan scheme, which is Today Desh Ka Aam Nagrik. Through the Udan scheme, the challenge of these airlines, because it is a market-driven industry, where they feel there might be a non-viability in running a route, the government has taken the responsibility a little bit on himself, and it has said that why don't we provide the viability gap funding? It was the first time that it has been done at such a large scale. And through the Udan scheme, now we have started 609 routes in the country in just 8 years span of time. Nowhere in the world you would have seen such a scheme, which has been run by the government itself, so that the non-viable routes, the airlines can come and start the routes and facilitating the routes. And we have operationalized 86 airports under Udan. And out of these 86 airports, 20 were underserved, but 66 airports were totally unserved. What I mean by unserved is that not a single flight was going to these airports. But that was a challenge conference also, Asia Pacific Ministerial Conference, where 41 countries were participating, and there were stakeholders from aviation across the globe also who were participating. And 29 countries have sent in the best of the people who represent aviation from their countries. And I have heard all of them speak in that conference, and they have proudly said, the real thing that we can pick up from India today is how it has improved the domestic connectivity within the country, and how it has launched the RCS Udan scheme so that it could facilitate the regional aviation in a very big way. Because for them, most of the countries, sir, for them, the aviation becomes more of an international affair. How do you connect your country better to another country? But a lot of them couldn't crack the challenge of internal connectivity. But now with this Udan scheme, we are showcasing it to the world that a little push, a little commitment from the government, you can create wonders, and that is what we have done through the Udan scheme. And now through the Udan scheme, we have kind of addressed the accessibility. Now the other thing that I mentioned after taking charge as a minister was that I want to bring in affordability also. And I understand all the concerns that each and every member has raised regarding the airfares. I am also a citizen of this country, and I was also a member, and before member, I was also a passenger. So I know one of the challenges that the people of this country face when they're traveling, and I understand the true spirit in which people would have spoken about the airfares also. But you have to understand that airfares regulation is, this debate has been there for quite some time, sir, and internationally also the process that they follow is they keep the aviation air ticket mechanism as a very deregulated sector, because that is how the whole sector moves forward. That is how there is a win-win situation for everyone. The market plays its game, and everyone gets facilitated in the process, and this is an international procedure. Nowhere in the world, any country has been regulating the air prices and seeing a progress in aviation. Everyone has a very deregularized sector only. And in fact, in our country also, at one point of time, there was a regulation on the airfares through the Air Corporations Act. Now, when was this Air Corporations Act taken out? It was in the year 1994 that the then government, that the then leaders thought, if the aviation needs a real push, then we have to deregulate, and that is when the deregulation happened in 1994. The Air Corporations Act was taken away, in which it was mentioned that air caps need to be capped. So after that, it has been a free market. It has been a market with a dynamic airfare mechanism happening. And now, if you see, I have another report also, because many...
Only 23% of the wealth is with the remaining 90% of the population, sir. This inequality between the rich and the poor has to be addressed, and necessary steps has to be taken to ensure that poor people grow wealthier in our country. Only then becoming third largest economy soon will have some meaning and sanctity, sir. Sir, coming to income tax, sir. Sir, the share of individual income tax payer in GDP has increased from 2.5% in 2017-18 to 3.64% in 2024 and 25, sir. Sir, a comparison with BRICS economies shows that effective personal income tax rate in India is among the highest. Sir, Section 80D of the Income Tax Act allows tax deductions of up to 25,000 rupees every financial year on health insurance premiums, sir. This deduction limit has remained the same for the last 10 years, sir. But on the other side, the medical expenses of every individual is growing in a very big way from the last 10 years, sir. So, to address this issue, necessary steps has to be taken to enhance the deduction limit up to 1 lakh rupees per financial year on health insurance premiums, keeping in view of the increased medical expenditure, sir. Sir, the new tax regime curtails several important tax deductions, leaving people disincentivized from switching on from the old regime, sir. Deductions under Section 80C, 80D and 80E and various other deductions are not permitted under the new tax regime, leaving middle class people and the poor people into dissatisfaction and financial stress and strain, sir. Sir, coming to indirect taxes and GST, indirect tax collections are increasing every year by year, sir. Government has been seeing record GST collections with a significant increase in July 2024, totaling to an amount of 1,82,075 crores, sir, marking 10.3% rise compared to July 2023, which was 1,65,000 crores, sir. Given this high collections, now the government should come forward and consider reducing or exempting GST rates on certain basic goods and services which are commonly consumed by the poor and the middle class, sir. On behalf of the weavers, I request the government to exempt 5% GST on the raw material used by the weavers, sir. And on behalf of the fishermen, fishermen are making a request from a long time, sir, for GST exemption on components used for making fishing nets, including nylon twines, ropes and floats, sir. Sir, and farming community, you very well know, sir, it is in severe distress. We have to address the issues of farming community, sir. Sir, a new act has to be introduced in this house, fixing MSP for all crops produced by the farmers in this country, sir. Sir, and more importantly, sir, to promote farm mechanization and to support farmers, GST should be exempted for all farm supplements, sir. Sir, and more importantly, sir, 18% GST is collected on health insurance premium and life insurance premium, sir. Sir, we strongly request the government to withdraw GST on life insurance and health insurance premiums, sir. Sir, coming to our state, Andhra Pradesh, sir, our former Chief Minister, Sri Jagan Reddy garu, requested Honorable Prime Minister several times to grant special category status to Andhra Pradesh as promised in this house, sir, by the then Prime Minister Sri Manmohan Singh ji. We strongly urge the government to grant special category status for Andhra Pradesh and fulfill the promise made in this house, sir. Sir, in AP Reorganization Act, establishment of steel plant at Kadapa was promised to us, sir. We strongly urge the government to establish